Hey guys, Caitlin here. People have been asking us about shows. So really quick, if you want to see Sean this week, he's performing in New York all around, but specifically he's doing an hour at the Comedy Cellar at the Fat Black Pussycat, Wednesday, May 22nd. I am performing all around London and Brighton this week in the UK. Specifically, I'm doing an hour also on Wednesday, May 22nd at the Brighton Fringe at the Temple Bar. I'm also going to be performing in London this weekend at the Bill Murray. So check out our websites. Sean is SeanPatton.com. Mine is thecaitlincook.com. And also please check out our guest. She is awesome. Check her out. Bye.
Yeah. Here we are. This is 5 Words, the podcast.
That's Sean Patton.
And that is Caitlin Cook. And this is the journey you will be taking with us every week. Every episode, we invite a different auteur from a different background, different world, different field to tell us a story of theirs in 5 simple words. We then tell our version of that story, and then they tell theirs.
Yeah. It's a whole journey that you're going to get to take with us. Our guest for this episode is the wonderful Alison Leiby.
She's super fucking great. From Maryland.
That's A-L-1-L. A-L-I-S-O-N. Leiby spelled L-E-I-B-Y in case you want to find her on various social media channels. She's currently on the writing staff of my favorite TV show, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
God, that's huge. Mm-hmm. That's an amazing feat, and
it's a great show.
She's only gonna make it better. And so watch the show.
Yeah.
But then either before or after you watch the show, listen to this.
Yeah, and go check out more of Alison Leiby. We recorded this episode during the Kavanaugh hearing weekend. So we get into that a little bit, but we also talk about shellfish and angel shots and bars with puppies that involve no political conversation and finding balance. Yeah, we've got a great story about, well, I'll just let you hear it.
Here it goes. Sploosh!
Is that you hopping right in?
That's hopping right in. That's the sound you'd make when you hop right into anything. I mean, but that specifically was a pool.
Yes.
When was the last time? Here's a question right off the bat. When was the last time you were in a swimming pool?
In my dream last night, weirdly. But
what?
I cannot remember.
Did you, because apparently if you have a dream about water in a dream, or a thing about water in a dream, it has one. Did you drown?
No.
Did you pee?
No.
Was there something in there that you were afraid of that you were swimming away from?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're at peace as a human being. That's what that means.
Oh,
I
cool.
made that up. I just made that up. I am no sleep therapist. I am Sean Patton, the anti-sleep therapist.
I am Caitlin Cook, whose dreams about pools.
And our guest, the pride of Baltimore, but right outside of Baltimore, Alison Leiby.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Again.
thanks
Wait,
for being on the podcast.
Yes. Where are you from? It's not Baltimore.
Annapolis.
Annapolis. That's what it is.
Between Baltimore and Washington lies Annapolis.
The state.
Whitest of towns.
The whitest of towns. And the state capital of Maryland.
Very different from
Yes.
Baltimore.
Yes. Very different from Baltimore.
How far away is it from Baltimore?
Like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's like very close.
Got it.
I think we talked about this once, about how she comes from one of those like picturesque, right?
Yeah.
Towns where everything's on the water.
Yeah, everything's in the water. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very pretty, and the seafood's great.
And then you're having a great time, and you're cracking some like Atlantic. You know,
some blue crabs from the Chesapeake.
That's when I feel like I met you, was that night after something at Union Hall, and then Sean went to go get that huge oyster platter, that seafood platter.
And then I think I had oysters the next day or the day before, and we were disgusting.
Unfortunately, podcasts are made for the ears only. Otherwise, I would show the listeners a text exchange where Alison and I... Okay, yeah, that's it. I'll post it on Instagram. Alison and I had a back and forth of like shellfish comparisons of things we were eating. Remember?
Yeah.
I took like I had a tower of shellfish.
I think a seafood tower is the most luxurious food you can eat.
Oh,
like, you're like, I'm going to make this like dead fish, like 3-dimensional. It's so
I'm going to make it into a piece of art.
Yes, I love it.
That would be if an Encino Man, do you remember that film?
Yeah.
Encino Man?
Encino Man starring Brendan Fraser.
No.
Well, if an Encino Man type situation where they find a caveman who'd been frozen for hundreds / thousands of years, and now he's like, I'm in the real world. I'm in the current world. What's it like? If I had that situation, the first thing I would do is take him to a seafood place and get him a seafood tower.
Yeah.
And just eat it.
Yeah.
I'm still coming around to seafood. I mean, I grew up with sushi.
Okay.
I like shrimp, but I don't like peeling them myself. And
Okay.
it comes to shellfish and oysters where I just didn't grow up with them, so Sean
Caitlin.
is indoctrinating me
Wait.
with that love.
Why don't you like peeling shrimp?
I don't like their eyes.
That's
fair.
We've had so many times where I can tell she wants to eat the shrimp, and I'm like, "Do you want some shrimp?" And she's like, "It's looking at me though."
I want to eat it. I just don't want to think about it being a live creature while I'm eating it.
It's fair. Yeah. The shrimp looks the least like a creature of any, like it looks like a piece of a creature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like a weird little alien. That's true.
But you were saying in Annapolis that one time you're having blue crab. It's great. You're drinking a beer on the water, and then suddenly he's like, and then, you know what? And the good thing is that Trump's really standing by his promises.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, this is what's wrong.
I was having dinner in Brooklyn the other night and I heard like two guys, I was just sitting alone at the bar and there were like two guys talking about the Kavanaugh hearings and like, I didn't follow everything they were saying, but I heard at one point somebody be like, look, I mean, I drank in college. And I was like, no. Stop screaming. We're in like a tiny restaurant in Borum Hill. Like you can't be like this.
Yeah. It's also like, that's not the point.
Right.
Is it?
At all.
Yeah.
Also, like, there's a voice we don't need chiming in. It's just like two middle-aged men being like remembering college.
Yeah.
It's shitty how quick people are to sort of just like whitewash / like everything has to fit into a bracket. Like, for example, I cannot remember the person's the name of the person, but it's someone who went to school to UNC. Is that where Dr. Ford went? I think? Yeah. Someone who went to school with her being like, I remember Christine drinking at this bar and hooking up with guys at this party. Why don't you talk about that? And it's like,
that's not what's on trial.
Doesn't fucking
Relevant.
matter. Yeah. She could have in college been a fucking cokehead. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that is irrelevant. But that's just like that thing. I drank in college too. That's not what's on trial right here.
At all.
Fuck face.
Absolutely.
You know, everyone drinks in now ever right
Yeah,
now. We're
all
drinking
the
right
time.
now.
We're
not
at
us.
a bar.
We're boozing it up. But like that's it's ridiculous. I feel like for the longest time you could like put people like, hey, north, south, or east, west. And now it's just
Right.
everywhere.
You have no idea. Like,
Yeah.
you think you have an idea of who you're talking to. And then, like, there's always there's so many, like, angles to all of these issues and topics and stories that, like, you just don't know when you're going to uncover something terrible about somebody who seemingly is otherwise fine.
Right.
No, it's very odd. Like sometimes you'll be talking to a lady friend that you're just like, we're on the same page. And
Yeah.
then they're like, I've never been sexually assaulted and I don't really believe that most people have. And I'm like,
Well, you're
Okay.
wrong. Probably
right.
about both of those things if you think about it.
yep.
Yeah.
You probably have been.
Yeah.
It's and also like how like you could. I've been in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, for
Sure.
example, and which is actually Hattiesburg is the Austin of Mississippi.
It's
Interesting.
really cool.
Yeah,
We've
it's
had
like-
some really cool shows
Yeah.
there.
I mean, Austin of Mississippi still means it's
It's still in Mississippi,
It's
and
still
it's
in
still of
Mississippi.
Texas. Like,
Right,
we're
yeah,
still
yeah.
comparing a bunch
Yeah.
of
Right.
places in the South that are.
But like I've had conversations with after show. I've done a bunch of shows there. It's very very cool town to go do shows in because they like it's a bunch of liberal arts college kids and people
Yeah.
who are like
Right.
Thank you for coming here.
Yes.
And you go and then like I've had conversations with people at the bar there that are like, wow, you're really open minded and progressive and also you transitioned, you're transgender.
Yeah.
I had no clue. Nice
Yeah.
to meet you. And wow, that's a great idea for an eco-friendly
Right.
cars engine servicing system.
Like
Right.
the last time
Right.
we were there, I have a little bit in a song about being a Jewish atheist, and I got off stage, and like a couple of the comics and audience members later was like, "What is that like? I've never met anyone who's gone through that. Like, tell me all about it." But it wasn't like
Yeah.
They're asking
like-
because of like
they were
empathy and
just
compassion and
curious.
interest,
Right.
and
Yeah.
not like judgment and
Yeah. It was really
Ugh.
cool.
But then I've been in like Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
Where like someone is
here in Brooklyn.
We're out of or here in Brooklyn, where like out of nowhere someone it's like, wait, what do you
Someone's
mean?
in a restaurant being
Yeah.
like, we all drank in college.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wait, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
people
Everyone's everywhere.
yeah.
Everyone
It's
is
hard.
everywhere.
So what is that? What is everyone is that? Wait, what is that? Now you try and now it's like, but that begs the question: like, is that good or bad? I mean, it's bad, obviously, but is it worse than North and
A
South?
super divided.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
It's scary.
It is.
It's all bad, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
it is. I guess if we're going to take a silver lining out of you overhearing that conversation, is like at least they were talking about it and discussing it, and maybe someone else in the restaurant or like they realized their surroundings and they were having a critical discussion about it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and they might have been. And I didn't
Maybe.
hear everything they were saying,
Yeah.
and he could have been like, I mean, I drank in college, but I've never heard a woman because I respect women's privacy. I don't know what came after that,
Yeah.
but it was just like the setup of this could go south, and I don't want to know what's happening. And then the bartender like very like nicely like noticed that I was just like staring into my drink, and he was like, "Do you want like another one?" Or it's on the house.
And you were like, yes.
There should be, because you know how there's those, which I don't agree with the fact that they've posted this information everywhere, but I do agree with the thing, the like angel shot. You know what I'm talking about?
no.
No.
Ooh, okay, maybe now I'm about to do the thing where I'm like, I don't agree that this has been posted everywhere. But actually, there is, for a long time, apparently most bars will do
This
a
sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Please keep
I
talking.
do know
'cause
what
don't
you're
the
talking about.
specifics, but-
if you're on a date, a Tinder date or just a date, and it's not the guy is weirding you out, or the person is just like you feel uncomfortable and you want out of the situation, you order an angel shot, and the bartender knows like
I do know about
keep
this.
an eye
Yes.
/
There
call
are
a
signs
car.
in women's bathrooms
Yes.
that say it on the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem with that too, though, is if it gets too out there and you say like, "Oh, can I get an angel shot?" and the person you're with is aware of the
Yes.
angel shot, and they're like, "What? Why?"
Right.
But then again, at that point, you've made they make
I
a
don't think
scene.
there's anything wrong
So I
with
guess
that.
you're right. Yeah. They're not they can't do shit about it.
Yeah.
But there should be a version of that for when a bartender could tell like you're just overhearing a fucking ridiculous conversation, you're about to explode. Like, do you want a tranquilizer?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Or do you want me to send them around to tranquilizers?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that'd be perfect if they could just fall asleep mid-sentence and stop talking.
Well, you remember? Okay. Oh shit! I'm not going to remember the name of this movie at all. But it was basically about the 4 kids from New York who like accidentally knocked the guy downstairs and had to go to like juvenile prison basically, but it was for boys, and they got molested by the Kevin Bacon character. And when they grew up as adults, they like
what is
find
that
him
movie?
and kill him, and Robert De Niro is.
It's familiar, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't
don't
remember.
remember.
It stars Brad Pitt and Robert De Niro and some other people. But anyway, there was just a scene where 2 of the guys are in a bar in Hell's Kitchen, and down at the end of the bar, there's these 2 old men talking about politics, and the characters are like, "Hey," to the bartender, like, "Send those gentlemen around or whatever they're drinking and remind them of the rules." And the bartender goes and he's like, "This is on them." And guys, you know the rules. No religion, no politics here. And they shut up about it. It's like, where are those bars?
I know. I want to go to that
Sleepers.
bar.
Yeah, Sleepers. That's what the movie's called. Sleepers, yeah.
Sleepers.
But just a bar where it's like, hey, no defending Judge Kavanaugh or Trump in this bar.
Right.
And go do that across the street.
Yeah.
I'm sure that exists.
Yeah.
I would like to go to that. I'm sure it would be packed if it did. Like everybody's just like, I want to get in there and I want to talk about dogs. Like, that's all
What if
I
there
want.
are dogs in the bar?
Yeah, there should be like, just the
just
emotional support dogs.
And we
Provide a
get
pet.
wasted and talk about the difference between ping pong and tennis.
Yeah.
Table tennis.
Which is the table. But, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just
but
wanna-
let's go on about it for hours over whiskeys instead of having to overhear every person think they need to weigh in on every issue in this country.
Yeah. There's like the no way in day.
Yeah.
Or like no.
Yeah, it's a hard balance because like you feel guilty when you're like just looking at dogs, but then when you're in it, you're like, I just need to look at dogs.
I know. I feel like especially in comedy, you're just
Yes.
like, should I talk about it? Should I not talk about it?
Balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what's like. Have you seen the new Avengers movie?
No.
That's the thing. It doesn't. This is not a. I'm not going to do a Marvel character comparison, but there is a thing where the main bad guy, his whole thing is he's all about balance in the universe, but of course has completely interpreted that the wrong way into just like, well, I need to murder half the universe because it's too populated. That's balance, right? And
It's not wrong. There are too many people.
so that's what I'm saying
That
right
part
now.
is true.
But no, it's one of those things that I think is so goddamn important in life, balance. Yet it was sometimes when it's interpreted like that, you put it out there in the world, you just war. Because like you remember in the '90s or even early aughts when I felt like there were so many conversations about do video games make kids violent,
Yeah.
do movies make people violent, etc. And back then it was like, no, you're insane for even thinking that. And now you sort of go like, but.
Kind
Maybe
of.
school maybe everyone's
Yeah.
so good at being a public shooter because they play video games that are
A public shooter.
really, but you know what I mean, like
I do, but it sounds like a public figure.
Yeah.
a public shooter. I mean, yeah, they get press, but like they play these video games where it's like the goddamn controller vibrates every time you pull the trigger, and
Right.
they make it very realistic. So maybe
Yeah.
when they actually get a gun in their hands, they're not that shocked or overwhelmed at how to use it.
Right.
And you start to
That's
wonder,
fair.
you're like, is that, but am I a monster to the creators of the video game? Like, no, you're being ridiculous. Like, am I? I know people who, I guarantee every shooter has played hours
Oh yeah.
of a first person shooter.
I would
game.
assume.
Just all play
Yeah.
some Mario Kart and Call of Duty.
Exactly. Mario Kart.
Mario
then-
Party.
Then you got people just
Super
whipping
Smash
around
Bros.
in
When you want to get a
Go-karts.
little violent.
go-karts, which is fun. Yeah. Wait, do the thing from Mario Kart that you did the other day?
Here we go, Super Mario.
No, you went
Right.
out of nowhere. You went, oh no, Mario. What was it?
Oh, I think it's Toad, or Peach just goes, oh no, Mario. I don't know.
Oh,
Little
Mario.
things that have infiltrated my brain since
Oh, I know.
childhood.
Sometimes like stuff just pops in. You're like, "Where's that from?" I'm saying it out loud now. Nothing
Oh yeah,
can stop
it's
me.
always it's always an
It is just
infomercial
coming out. Yeah, it's
Always
always
some
just,
kind of commercial.
I keep in my. I don't remember where it came from. It just like popped in my head one day, and I remember pitching it at a show, and people were like, "Please stop." I was just like, or it was for President show, so it like made sense, but like didn't end up making it in. But the McDonald's theme, but going like, "Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm oven mitt," and I can't stop thinking about it. I just keep like humming it in my head, and like sometimes saying it out loud, and people are like, "Are you okay? What's happening?"
My new favorite thing is telling someone that I want to tell them a secret and then going over to their ear and just whispering, zoom, zoom.
I love
Is that
that.
ad campaign still running?
I don't think so. That
That's
was
what
Mazda,
makes it even
right?
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like the idea. You see now that ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm a grub in it. Just keep constantly changing it.
Yeah. It's very fun to just put songs into. Noah Garfinkel used to do that at work, and it used to always like rub off onto me. And
The
I would end
man's
up,
name is Noah Garfinkel.
Yes.
He's born to
He's
create
born to make
jingles.
music.
He's born to
Very
make jingles.
true.
I haven't seen that guy in 204 years.
You are very old.
We're all
Yeah.
vampires.
Everybody's
We're all-
old. Yeah, we've all been alive forever.
We've all-
Yeah.
This is what a life of comedians feels like. You've been around for too long.
Yes.
Yeah.
But been around too long. All of these play into. It's been too long since we've heard Alison's.
What a segue.
Well,
Yeah. How are you going to make this work?
we're
I'm
bad
curious.
at segue. But no, it's so today we're gonna hear a tale from Alison. But first, will you tell us your story
In 5 words.
in 5 words?
In 5 words. All right. So Ithaca, New York.
Or phrases.
Or
I
phrases,
should
yeah,
say.
that works.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that works.
That works.
Ithaca, New York.
Okay.
Brothel. Vibrator. Nap time. And Italian cinema.
I already
The-
like this.
I see. This is crazy because I guess I forgot to make the point of the podcast clear. Not stories you've already told us.
Oh,
I know this
obviously.
one clearly. So this is a story. I'll tell it. This is a story about when Alison, when she was in college at Ithaca, right, and she took a class.
Great college.
Right, great college.
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
It was a. She was originally in school to get her MBA, and one of her professors was like, "Here we go. How would you run a brothel?" Right?
Yeah.
Because it's
That's
like
a class experiment.
Because and like that whole professor thing of like, oh, I'm gonna give you an assignment without an actual you can't do this. No one can do this. This is to challenge you as students. And
What kind of class was it again?
it was a impossible business class.
Right.
Which they offer at some.
Yeah.
It's like if you can crack any of these.
Yeah.
It's like how in Good Will Hunting, how they put those unsolvable problems on the board, and if you could solve it, you're a genius.
Yeah.
That's this business class.
So everybody was trying out a different business. Like there was a classmate that was working on a preschool,
Right.
a classmate that was working on a movie theater.
Right.
Allison had to figure out if she could make a brothel.
Right. And Allison, being as smart as she is, this is what I love about her. It's great about her comedy too, is she can just find the flaw in any logic and be like, no, here's the simple answer, duh.
Yeah.
And she was like, what do you need a brothel for when you got a vibrator?
Yeah, it's
Right?
very true.
So she brought her vibrator to class as like here it is, here you go.
Yeah.
And it was over so quickly. Like she clearly was like, here's my business plan for a brothel, the vibrator. Everyone's mind was blown, including the professor.
Very
and he was
true.
like, well, now there's an extra 45 minutes of class we don't need.
Yeah. So the classmate that was working on like starting a preschool was like, I guess let's do nap time because that was going to be her presentation. But then they had like an extra 45 minutes of nap time.
Yeah.
Because they had so much extra time because of the vibrator.
And while they were napping, and this is why schools like, upstate in Ithaca are great, while they're napping, the teacher ran out, got them all lasagna. So they woke up and it was like, huh? Here's your award for doing so well in the class, guys.
Yeah.
Get fed. So I remember that story. That was true.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty much it. It's great. It's almost like you guys were there the whole time.
I rip off a mat. It's me.
It's me, your
Professor
professor.
Studious.
My favorite part about that is I probably didn't write that last word down properly.
You wrote down the word. It looks like it says Italian chew-up.
Cinema.
Oh, it's cinema. I thought it was
that's why
cuisine.
I was like the other classmate movie theater.
Oh,
you went on this lasagna track, and I was like, Sean must remember the story better than I do. So
I forgot the last part, and then also they watched Fellini.
Yeah.
you do remember the story
Right,
better
it was.
than I do. Yeah.
It was they ate lasagna and watched a bird on a wire. No, that's
Is that Fellini?
a woman under a woman.
I forget Fellini.
Yeah, I forget Fellini. You know why I forget Fellini? Because I have never seen any. I'm not gonna
Me
lie.
neither.
I know who he is.
I don't even know who he is. So there you go.
There you
you know
go.
more than me.
So that was our attempt at Allison's story,
Yeah.
which was, believe it or not, audience, wrong.
Yeah. Not even any of it. I mean, Ithaca was the same.
Okay.
Because that place hasn't
Yeah.
changed.
Let's
what is
hear the real one.
So I went to school in Ithaca, New York.
We nailed it.
which
yes.
you guys got that one. Check.
Is that University of Ithaca?
I went to Cornell, which is in
Oh,
Ithaca.
Cornell, the big college. How was that? Amazing?
I really liked it, but
Yeah.
I just I was like on a sports team. I made like good friends, and then like I was an English major.
Ooh, let me connect dots real quick. You were a rower.
I was
Yeah, I wrote at Oxford for a little bit. Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I am amongst an Ivy League and whatever league Oxford's in.
Its own.
Two rowers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you row on this? What positions were you as rowers? Are there different positions?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
I quit after the first what are they called? Term.
Term.
Because I got
so
tired
rubbish.
of waking up at 5:30 in the morning.
It's an early sport.
Yeah.
Allison
hard.
went to nationals. Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I have a medal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's amazing.
Good. And then I had back surgery, and my doctor was like, "No, you
No.
Oh,
just-
No more.
you can't do that anymore, ever. You
No
can't do
more.
anything anymore."
No more of a sport where you pretty much only use.
Yeah, just a lot of your back.
Yeah.
Going like this. So
So okay. So you're.
So I was
yeah.
living in Ithaca, New York, and I lived in my sophomore through senior years. I lived in a house with 8 other women, and I think that it probably in the city, this rule is still in the books too, but in the state of New York, I believe if there's 7 or more or 8 or more women in a house and alcohol is ever present, it's legally considered a brothel.
That's amazing.
It's one of those old laws that like no one's gonna spend the time and money to change or take off
Yeah.
the books because they're like, this doesn't mean anything anymore.
right.
Also, like in New York, it's like everybody's like, I have 90 roommates and we're all
Yeah.
bartenders in the bar in the house. Like
Yeah.
so, like there's no.
No one is charging for sex or anything though.
No.
So stop it.
I love
Yeah.
this stuff. I really want to look this law up.
Yeah, it's I know at least upstate it was true. So it was like fun to we all like joked about, we're all like, well, we live in a brothel. And then we were like, oh, every house here is a brothel.
Yeah.
Because everybody lives in like a giant old house with like a bunch of people and nonstop parties. But I had never owned a vibrator before. And my roommate, one of my housemates and I, so like we had this house that was like, each floor was like a 3-bedroom apartment that they broke up. Yeah. So it had like a little living room, a kitchen, and then 3 bedrooms. So you had kind of like your floor mates. And so my floor mate and I were like, we want vibrators. Like it's time. I don't know. Like I'd been to a sex shop for like a joke before. Like I've been there for like this time I was going for like business, not pleasure, if that makes like any sense. But like, you know, when you go when you're like 17 and you're in Mexico and you're just like looking and pointing at everything, you're like, oh my God, what is
that one has horns.
Why is it the size of a cop's nightstick? Like what? Those were always the scary
What
ones.
does bologna have to do with anything?
Am I in a grocery store?
Why are there so many feathers?
Oh my God, the idea of like a adult superstore /
Safeway. The responsible sex store.
Get the jackhammer and that mayonnaise that organic mayonnaise.
They go together somehow.
Oh, maybe that would normalize it though. It'd be so great.
Yes.
Just pick up your groceries and a vibrator.
Oh,
like,
if they were just like the
on the
sex
way
aisle?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're getting like as the like the contracept, like at least like in a Dwayne Reed, I feel like when I walk down that aisle, there's more stuff that's like for the pleasure of sex and not just for the safety.
Yes,
of
I
it. And it's
agree.
all still next to diapers.
It is.
So,
Just a reminder.
just a reminder.
Pregnancy test.
This is where you're going if you're not stopping here.
Which I do like that. I do like
do
that.
too.
Yeah. Remind me
Condoms
what's at
next
stake
to
here.
pregnancy test.
Right. Grab one of these.
Yeah.
So we went and I bought my first vibrator, and like we bought these, like I had never had one before, so like I don't know how you felt the first time you went from like something just from being manual to like digital, or I guess this is also digital. I don't know.
Mechanic.
Going to electronic.
Yes.
But it was just like pretty life changing. You're like, oh, this is coming.
Yeah.
Like men don't know that there's like a whole nother like
There's another gear.
there's a whole nother gear that like
And
women
then there are
don't
many
learn.
more gears.
Yeah. And then you keep finding gears for the rest of your life, and it's amazing and complicated and
Yeah,
great.
like men think women are a 5-speed, and it's like no, they're like a semi.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
a 16-speed.
Right. There's a clutch and a choke and a
Jesus, there's so much. I'm not qualified.
Yeah. The first time you get one, you're like, I don't ever need a man again.
It's so true. But when we were like looking around the store, and we ended up buying like matching ones because we were just
cute.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She was like, we were like best friends, and we were like, I don't know. This looks like the right choice. Like, when am I going to go pick up something like weirder? And we got like neon green, sparkly, like vibrating dildos, Shrek stick. But like also when you pay for one, like they have to make sure it works. Like when you leave the store, just so that like you don't use it and come back and be like, this didn't work, and like clearly it did, and it was inside of you, and now you're just trying to like not pay for a vibrator.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just this like giant old man was just like taking it out of the packaging and like putting batteries in it and like testing it, and was going zzz, and he was like, all right, and then we're like, you touched it now.
I thought you were saying there was like a room where it's like go try it out.
No,
If
they
it
like
doesn't,
they
we'll hose
pull it out
off.
of the packaging and make sure it works like before you leave the store, which was because like we were both like, like kind of like this is gonna happen, and we
Which,
like.
by the way, that I will say that is a friendly policy, at least.
Yeah.
No,
As
it's
opposed
smart.
to
I mean, it
just-
protects everybody.
Yeah,
Like, so we like got home and like we were both like walking in it was the summer and like nobody was there, so it was just the two of us, and we were like walking in the house, and we were both like just slowly walking faster and faster, like just kind of at first just like walking, and then we were just like almost running. We like got to the front door, and it's like, no, go ahead.
I gotta go do a paper.
Yeah,
Let's get a paper.
I'm working on. I don't know what you're doing. I'm gonna study. Close your door. And we were like,
Music loud.
We just like got into our apartment. We were like, I'll see you later. Like, obviously, this is what the next like couple hours is gonna be. But like then like, and we talked about it. We were like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'm so happy. Like, I'm never turning back. So like in the fall, all of our housemates came back, and like people were around or whatever. And so like I came home one day early in the fall from a class. I had like a morning class, like came back and was like, time to go to sleep again because I did 9 tequila shots last night because that's college. And I like had come home and there was nobody in the house. And so I like took a nap and I woke up and I was like, this is a perfect time to masturbate. Like it's the middle of the day, nobody's here.
Best time.
Best time.
Best
And
time,
like
middle of the day.
that thing, like I just like couldn't not start screaming a lot, like because it's just very good. I was like, this is great. It was like a new phase of my life. And so like I like woke up and was like, I'll do that. super loud and like the kind of screaming where it's like just screaming complete sentences that like, I'm so happy I have a credit card. Like just like saying insane, like full like thoughts. And I like came out of my room to get a glass of water from our kitchen, and like our floor was the floor that had the TV, the DVD player. And one of the downstairs girls had come up while I was asleep with her Italian cinema class, and they were screening a movie that was super quiet, and they were using subtitles. So the whole time they heard me.
Oh my God.
And I like came out of my bedroom to like the living room that like, it'd be like if I just like walked like out here by this, like just like a t-shirt and underwear, like no pants, and just was like, and it was just like 8 people I didn't know, just all kind of like, hi. And I was just like, you guys good? Do you need anything? All right, I'm gonna get back to work. Just like shut the door.
Are you guys watching this too? I'm watching Myra. It's crazy.
So I can't not read. I mean, like, thank God they have credit cards. So that was
such a good story.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
As you're telling that, I'm like trying to think of excuses in my head because I get like physical embarrassment when other people are telling embarrassing stories.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just filming a voiceover audition.
Yeah.
Close the door.
There was just like no right answer.
No.
Like my friend who lived in the house was just like looking at me like, Allison. I was like, I didn't know you guys were here.
That's where you just. Here's, okay, listeners, advice from Alison Leiby is this. If you are living in a dorm-like situation and you're going to masturbate with a brand new magical wand vibrator, and you're going to yell from the orgasm, yell things that throw listeners off if there are any.
Yes.
Like, Mom, I told you I'm going to call you Tuesday.
Yes, my PIN number is 1329.
No, I am not interested in a new refrigerator. Please call back later. Like, because refrigerator salesmen, always call.
They're always calling college
please
kids
renew
being
my
like, want a
insurance.
fridge?
Oh, man.
No, this isn't Allison. I didn't go to buy.
Excuse me, you have the wrong number.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, no, you have the wrong number.
No, this isn't her. Sorry.
Okay.
Or just cough.
Yeah, that's another one.
Or just turn the.
Yeah, start crying.
Yeah.
That's something. I don't know.
That is a fucking fun. That would be a funny scene just in a movie.
I know.
Oh,
I keep
yeah.
being like,
Yeah.
I gotta squeeze this into something.
Yeah.
It's so like just like the visuals of it are just very funny to like
That's
open
so
a door to
fucking
see like
hilarious.
8 strangers watching like a black and white subtitle movie.
Yeah, that feels like a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, just on a side note, just some camaraderie here. A couple of years, like 5 years ago, the Moon Tower Comedy Festival. Was it Moon Tower? I think it was Moon Tower. Anyway, they in your gift bag gave you fleshlights, right?
Of course.
And I remember checking in and receiving it at the same time as this other comedian who I did not know very well. And us both being like, what floor are you on? And we're both on the same floor. And it just being like, I guess we're going, Yeah, man, got to check in. Tired from the flight,
Yeah, gotta take a nap.
Oh, you live here in Austin? Oh, well, then never mind. You're probably not that tired, but I get it. And cool. And then seeing each other at the show later, or at the party later, being like, yeah, like 5 times in a row. It's crazy. And I was like, I once, and it was weird. It's weird. Those things are fucking weird. I'm sorry. I know it's a weird thing to use, but I get some people like them, so go at it. But point being, did you ever discuss that?
Before you move on from that, I heard at this festival, maybe it wasn't this one, but that they also gave the female comedians flashlights. Some comedian has a bit about being like, what do I do
that
with
does
this?
sound.
That is true. That is true. Yeah.
Like,
Why
that's
not
such
give
a.
them magic wands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Is
just
magic
anything.
wand an actual thing?
Yes, the Hitachi magic wand.
It plugs into the wall.
shit.
Yeah.
That's my current model.
Yes, it's the best
It's the
vibrator.
best.
Ladies, if you don't have a vibrator and you're listening to this podcast and you just heard this story and you were like, maybe I should get a vibrator.
This is
which
not
should
your
be
first
reaction.
one.
No,
it's
no.
not an entry
No, it's
level
not.
vibrator.
No.
This is an advanced.
Yes.
You talk. Oh, Excalibur, the thing you have in
Yes,
the
it's like as long as your arm.
Yeah.
the thing in the.
They like sell it at Brookstone. Like
Yeah.
it is not
It's supposed to be like a back massager.
Caitlin's got the thing. She punches
Yes.
in a code to this panel on the wall and opens and
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah,
some
it's like
smoke
a
pours
bookshelf
out.
that I have to pull
Yeah.
out a specific book. And
Yes, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you go into a room where
Yeah.
it's lit up from below.
Yeah.
it comes. Yeah,
It's a shower room. The whole room is a shower.
It's like at like a Hard Rock Cafe. It's just in a glass case
Yes.
with like a
With a plaque.
a plaque next to it, just like this. Caitlin got this in 2017, and has since been much happier. Did your friend who you bought the vibrator with? Did you guys ever like?
Oh, we talked about it all the time. And then like her boyfriend lived abroad, and so he was visiting for a while, and like I remember the first time he was like, and he was from another country, so his English was always funny. Like when she would do an impression of him, he was like, how do I do that for you but me? And she's like, no. She's like, you can't, and I'm sorry. But then like thanks to him, we learned that rechargeable batteries never reach full juice again after. So like, because it was battery operated, and we were both like, going through batteries like a fucking factory. And so then we were both using rechargeables, and then he was like, those never get all the way back up to it. It only goes back to like 85% strength. And we were like,
What are we
I'm
doing?
going to buy batteries, like waste
Yes.
batteries again.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing that.
The environment, sure, but fuck you. The environment will be a better place if I'm more chill.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll use less straws if I use more batteries.
Yeah, I'll make a compromise there. I will drive a Prius. I
Yes.
promise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a.
Do straws make you happy? No. Do batteries make you happy?
Absolutely.
Yes.
How are they not plug-in like electric shaver charger style though?
Some
This
of
was
them
a
are.
very old.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
old. Okay, so
This is like I was in
in
college, and I don't like that wasn't like that technology wasn't everywhere yet.
Right.
And then also it was like I wasn't ready to make a huge financial investment at that time. 'Cause I
Are
was
they
like,
expensive? They are, I guess.
some are.
Some of them
I mean,
can.
you could get like a very cheap. Like that's what this was. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I don't.
some of them are very expensive. Now they look very elegant. There's lots of like rose gold and like very
Yeah.
modular millennial pink, and you're like, I'm into it.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? It's like, oh, is that like is it like a coffee table sculpture? You're like,
Right.
Yes.
Right. Also,
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
a whole. There was one trend I remember seeing online of like jewelry that like, and I'm like, I don't want to wear a necklace of something that's been inside of me. Like, it just isn't really where I am.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a whole trend
I'm
of
a
like hiding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a feminist, but not so much of that.
I'm gonna put it in my drawer. Like that's
Yeah.
that's where it stays. I'm not trying to bring it out. I don't want to be like tempted to use it in like
Yeah.
in a bathroom.
No.
Though I have to say, if I ever met someone who I was like, oh, that's a cool necklace. What was that? Oh, this is my vibrator. I'd be like, I respect that.
Well, the honesty
that.
I think
Yeah.
would be what I like.
Yeah. But it feels like someone that's buying something that looks like something else might not be honest because they're trying to hide it.
Yeah.
You know,
But
they're
then still
embarrassed
wearing
about
it. It's a very
Yeah, I don't know.
complicated psychology.
Yeah, I don't get it quite.
Is there not? Is there not? I mean, and I'm this is almost a rhetorical question, but I still want to ask it. So it's not a thing. Obviously, not like I'm giving this to you, my daughter, type thing, but not like a mother buys her daughter her versed.
I think a very liberal, cool
Yeah.
mother
Yeah,
might.
yeah.
Yeah.
But certainly not most mothers
I don't
that
think
I've ever
it's
encountered.
I think that would be like 1% of the
Yeah.
population.
Yeah, that's like a different
Which
1%.
you should like.
That seems
in my
like
mind,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, if I ever had a kid, I would want to be the kind of mom that was like, here, you have to like understand like how your body works. But
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't. Like, of course not.
Yeah, I hope we're moving towards that. But like, I feel like
What age would you give your daughter would you give her a vibrator?
it depends on who she was, though.
Yeah,
you
true.
know,
Yeah.
like it depends on how much she matured. Because if she was like starting to get into a relationship, I might be like her first serious relationship. I might be like, you need to know how to tell this person that you're seeing
Yes.
what you want and what you like, and you don't know what you like.
Yeah.
Right,
here's the
right.
thing
So
that'll
here's
help
how
you
you're gonna
figure
find
what
out.
you
Yeah,
like.
get
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
I'll tell everyone you're doing homework.
Yeah.
And remember these phrases. Ouch, I stubbed my toe. Wait, because, like, all right, that's interesting. I feel like I was honestly expecting, like, oh, yeah, that happens. That's a thing. But
I think a very
Yeah.
cool, like hippy dippy mom might, but talking to other people about their moms, like, what if they're a really Catholic mom and like masturbation kills kittens in their mind, you know?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
Or even if they're a liberal mom, but they don't want to talk to their daughter about pleasure.
Sex in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this just went back to the idea of like the hidden vibrator. Somewhere out there, is someone with like a crucifix that when you
Oh,
take
for
it
sure.
off the wall, it's got like a battery pack on the back, and you're like, oh,
There's a switch.
yeah, okay. As a kid, I know as like a teenage dude,
Yeah.
like it was just like expected, like, oh, he's in there jerking off. Like it was just,
Yeah,
I
it was
can
just
remember
like
like
we spent a lot of time in the bathroom. That's like
Yeah.
a
Oh,
trope
yeah.
I see all the time.
like
I think we won't get there with women for a while because like we're just now acknowledging that women masturbate at all, let
Yeah,
alone
yeah.
with a
Yeah, that's very true.
third party tool.
yeah, I wonder because that's like because I remember like do you remember which parent gave you the talk?
I don't remember ever receiving the talk.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had a real like I'm sure there was a time that my parents did have like a more like holistic like this is sex, this is the like whatever. But the only talk I remember having was with my mom when I was like getting ready to go to college and we were like having lunch and she was just like, you know, you can get stuff from oral too, right? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, great. Like that was like
More like a warning.
yeah, just like on that one tiny thing. And I was like, yeah, I went to public school. Like we had like sex ed in our health class that was like not terrible.
Did you watch The Miracle of Life?
Yeah, I never having a child.
I love the idea that your mom was like, Allison, we're so proud of you. Also, you know, I love living down here in Maryland, being from Wisconsin like I am apparently. My birthday's your
My mom is a New Jersey Jew through and through.
Allison, we're so proud of you. Gee, I can't do accents. That's my New Jersey Jew. That doesn't sound like anything like either of those things.
We just watched Goodfellas.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're with
no, I like the idea of your mom being like, Allison, we're proud of you. You're going to Cornell. But look, we know Ivy League is all about oral. So just be
Right.
careful, okay?
Yeah.
Be careful.
Diseases can be transmitted through more than just penetrative sex. So
See,
be
that's-
aware of that.
Yeah.
Listeners, be aware.
My mom, I remember everything about it. I was 12, coming up on my 13th birthday, and it was from my mom exclusively. And it was
Oh, interesting.
And it was because I was drawing in a notebook, and I remember what I was drawing. I was drawing like a guy with a mohawk flipping the bird. That's it. I was just being a 12-year-old drawing,
Yeah.
dicking around, eating a sandwich, nothing. And he was flipping the bird, and in a bubble, like a talk bubble, he said, "I'm gay," for no reason. I was just drawing a guy that was like, "Fuck you, I'm gay." Nothing to it. No agenda. No nothing.
I know that it
It's-
was just like a 12-year-old trying to be funny and
Yeah,
immature,
exactly.
but I like that it's kind of like progressive in a way.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like, fuck you, I'm gay.
Fuck you. And I was just drawing it, and my mom came over my shoulder, and I remember she went, "Sean," and she said it in a voice, and I was like, "Uh-oh." And I remember explaining away, like, "Oh, whatever. No, I was going to draw the other two finger." I was like,
Yeah.
I thought she was mad about the
That,
bird.
yeah.
And she was like, "Sean, are you gay?" And I was like, "No." And then she was like, "Come here." And we went and just sat in the living room, just her and I, and she gave me a very detailed talk.
That
It
makes
was
sense, though, because she's a nurse.
Yeah, you've met
Oh,
my
yeah.
mom, yeah. But she gave me but I remember her using phrases like, just know that, you know, it feels really good and shit like that. I remember even then being like, but okay, you could, that part's not necessary, but,
Right.
you know, and it did though. I will say this, it did like, I think plant the seed for my like sexual person-ish.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it was always like the idea. I mean, of course, I was 12. I would
Right.
hit
You weren't like
puberty.
having, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
having, you know, erections. I was masturbating already. I know that. But the idea of sex always had a very like
Yes.
mom touch to it to me, if that
Okay.
makes sense. And that, I know that sounds real
Yep.
creepy the way I
Yep.
said that.
Real
Apologize.
creepy.
Yeah, mom touch. But you know what I mean? Like
A foundation of your mother informing you.
or
about
yeah,
it.
yeah. It wasn't ever just like get in there and fucking pound that shit. It was a very just
Is that
like
how dads talk? I don't
no,
know.
that's not how dads talk. But I can imagine my dad's version of the talk would just be like, yeah, you do it, and you know, just be cool. You don't. Saints are playing, you know, like something awkward.
Use a rubber.
Wear a condom unless you want to have a kid, and then it's cool. But
Yeah.
but yeah, my mom was very, very like, do you understand?
Comprehensive.
Okay.
And
Just be
That's
careful.
good.
And it was good. Yeah, it was very good. But it's just weird because I feel like I thought that was the norm because you hear so many people talk about the talk.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you talk to a lot of people like you, Caitlin. And it was
Well,
just like,
I feel like I don't ever remember receiving the talk because it wasn't like, now you're ready to learn. I'm going to teach you everything in this moment. Then we're never going to talk about it again.
Yeah.
It was just like my parents were pretty liberal. If it came up, they would
yeah.
give me bits and pieces. And then I remember telling my mom when I lost my virginity, and she told me about when she lost her virginity. That was kind
Oh.
of
I never really had
it was like,
that like exchange of honesty.
yeah.
But like I was on birth control when I was 16. Like my parents
Yeah.
were also very liberal. We just like relationships and sex or something like we didn't really talk about
Yeah.
very much.
And I think
I'm an
that's
only
like
child and like
yeah.
they're older.
Oh,
So there's
okay,
like a
yeah.
weird, I don't know. The one time that we almost had to have like a super intense talk way too early, it was in second grade. My school had like a spirit week and we had crazy hat day. And my mom was like, why don't you put a bunch of pins on a hat? I don't know. That's what you have to do. She had saved it, but my mom was like a super, because she's like in her 70s now. So like in the 60s, she was like a teenager.
Right.
And she had all these like old pins that were cool. And she was like, here, pick some of these, whatever. I was like putting them on a hat. And there was one from, she marched in whatever the big march in DC was in the late 80s, early 90s for abortion rights.
Right.
And there was this like black pin that was an upside down pink triangle that said choice. And I like put it on my hat and like went to school. And then the teachers were like, no, absolutely not. And then I was like, why can't I put this one on? Like, why can't I what does this mean? And my mom was like, you're 8. I mean, what am I going to explain abortion rights to you? Like,
That's so funny.
I don't remember when we eventually did talk about it, but I remember her being like, it's a very important thing that a bunch of people where we live don't agree with.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And it's about women being, like, it was she had to just talk around what it actually was until later when I know that we talked about it, because I'm like, you went to the march. You clearly care enough about this to talk to me about it. But I
Yeah.
don't remember the talk.
Yeah,
Teachers should have just breezed over that.
Yeah.
You know, you're right.
Yeah, none of the kids are like,
Yeah.
no one was like pointing to it, being like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, where's like, because, okay, I have 2 nieces. One's 4, one's 1. But like,
They feel ready.
yeah, no, but like, no, like, you know, like they watch, or just anybody's kids. You watch kids program, and it's a lot of just like, Marco the bee wants to sell his honey, but he doesn't know how. And it's like,
Right.
well, let's talk to Charlie the bear.
Right.
He knows about money, and it's like all these like hidden lessons.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, is there a way to throw in like, and here's Franco the fox. Had drank too much river water last night and may have cuddled with someone they didn't want to. Or
I mean,
Please make this cartoon.
Yes. There are ways to talk to kids about consent when it
Yes.
doesn't have to do with sex at all. It's just like,
sure.
you know, asking.
Oh no, Zach the beaver broke his tail and doesn't have insurance.
Yes.
We should have universal health care.
But the entire forest? Yes, Billy the Owl, the entire forest. But how are we
make
going to pay
this.
for this? Well, Jacqueline the squirrel's got a lot of nuts stored up. And then it becomes socialist.
Yeah, then there's an
Yeah.
elephant though who's like, I don't want I don't want to have to pay for the birds to get sick.
And then
Just comes in there and
Yeah.
like voices the idea of like
and then Lenny the bear is
privatizing.
like, wait, elephant, you ain't even supposed to be in this forest. Where's your papers?
Yeah.
You a jungle animal.
The birds can leave whenever they want. Then they come back. What are they doing here?
Now I just want to make this
I know. Now I just want to make that cartoon.
this cartoon just becomes far too complex. And
Yes.
it's like, and that's life, kids. Get used to it.
And they're just like all crying. Like, I didn't like it.
And then as the adult's like, well, get that out of the way now.
Right.
So that you're tough enough to handle
Right,
the real
because
world.
that's all life is
Yeah.
crying and being like, I didn't understand it, and it's kind of bummed me out.
Yeah. And then you get a vibrator. And
Yeah,
life is
and then
okay.
here's your vibrator.
And then,
Full circle.
oh, that's fucking funny. If only they made one of those type of... they don't make those sort of things for men, but we don't need them, I don't think. You know?
Vibrators?
Like a,
Or
yeah.
cartoons? What are we talking about?
A lot, just general.
All of it, just
Yeah.
stuff.
You know.
Men don't have enough stuff. You're right.
We don't have enough
Yeah.
gear. Yeah.
Make more stuff for men.
Yeah.
No, please don't. We got plenty. But yeah, that's...
You said about your lack of stuff.
I'm just thinking about all the stuff I could have that I don't know. That is, well, I mean, I feel like we took a goddamn journey.
We really did.
Yeah.
We took a fucking
did.
marvelous journey around.
I'll wrap it up right here. I'm not a very materialistic person. I would rather have experiences and have stories to share.
Oh,
Holy shit. That was
That's it.
holy smokes. That was the zoom moment. The zoom moment. Let's all get in this Mazda 4 and boogie.
Yeah.
And see what's out there. And if you're out there,
What's your handle for listeners?
It's just Alison Leiby on both of
Alison
them.
with one L or
One L. ALISONLEIBY.
Perfect.
there it is. Follow her, see her perform, and do yourself a favor, acquaint yourself with the comedic mind that is Alison Leiby.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Flicking the bean, diddle in the skittle, paddle in the pink canoe. How you get down with your downstairs DJ, that's entirely up to you. The bullet, the rabbit, the magic wand. Come on and treat yourself to something you can come on. And no shame to any men. Get yourself a flashlight or toy, you can come in. You won't go to hell, you won't go blind. You won't kill a kitten, but you just might find that you're gonna go through a lot of batteries, and that's okay.